Hello students, very good morning to all the students. So students, today we are going to do the last part of digestion, and the name of the topic is digestion of undigested food. In this topic we are going to understand about how the undigested food get finally ejected out of our body. So let's start. The food that remains undigested and unabsorbed passes from the small intestine into the large intestine. So students, the food that remains undigested in our body and unabsorbed by the cells, that will pass from the small intestine into the large intestine. So large intestine is wider and shorter than the small intestine. So we all know that large intestine is wider as well as shorter than the small intestine. So it is about 1.5 meters in length. So the length will be 1.5 meter. Okay students, large intestine has two parts. The large intestine has the two parts, that is colon and rectum. Okay, the two parts are colon and rectum. The colon will be the upper part. Colon is the upper part and the rectum is the lower part. Okay students, so colon absorb water and some salt from the undigested food. So the work of the colon is to absorb the water and undigested salt from the undigested food. Okay, water and salt from the undigested food. Due to this, the undigested food becomes dry and almost semi-solid. So as the colon absorbs all the water and salt from the undigested food, the undigested food will then become dry and semi-solid, not completely solid. Okay, this is known as feces and is stored in the rectum. So this dry and semi-solid thing will be known as the feces and is stored in the rectum. Feces is removed from the body through anus. So students, we all know that feces is removed from the body through the anus. So this process is called a egestion. So the final process of eliminating the undigested food from our body is known as egestion. So I hope it's clear to you till here. So with this we complete the last part of the digestion. So we are going to have a look on some extra things. So let's have a look. Do you know some organisms live in the digestive system of other animals? For example, tapeworm live in the human intestine. So there are some organisms who lives inside the digestive system of other organism. Okay, so the living example is the tapeworm lives in the human intestine. So we will find tapeworm in the intestine of the human. Okay, so here you see, we should include roughage in our diet as it helps the food move through the digestive system in bowel movement and prevent constipation. So students, we all know that roughage and all the other nutrients are very essential, and especially the inclusion of roughage in our diet will help in the food movement through the digestive system. So if we have the required amount of roughage, that will help the movement of food through the digestive system. Okay, in bowel movement and prevent constipation. Bowel movement means part of alimentary canal below the stomach, and it also prevent constipation. Okay students, so here multiple choice questions are given over here, number 1 and 2. You do it now, it's classwork for you, and just submit it to me. No need to send any kind of recording, just give me the answer. Okay, so no more. Constipation and stomach ulcer are digestive disorder. So we all know that if the food is not digested properly, we may suffer from certain disorder, that is like constipation and stomach ulcer. Okay students, so in constipation the person suffer from difficult bowel movement characterized by dry and hardened feces. So in constipation what happen, the person will have a very difficult bowel movement. Okay, the movement of the digested food will be very difficult. Also the undigested food, that is when it passes through the intestine, it will be very hard. Okay, and then it's very difficult for passing the feces. So we suffer from constipation when we do not take sufficient amount of liquid or roughage in our diet. So if there is no sufficient amount of liquid or roughage in our diet, then we are sure that we will suffer from constipation. So it's very important to consume the required amount of liquid or roughage in our diet. So a person with stomach ulcer develop a painful wound on the wall of the stomach. So the meaning of stomach ulcer is that a person will suffer from very painful wound in the stomach. Okay, eating food too quickly or not chewing it properly lead to excessive production of hydrochloric acid in the stomach. So students, whenever we eat any food very quickly or we do not chew it very properly, then it may leads to excessive production of acid inside the stomach, and the name of acid is hydrochloric acid. So if this condition persists for a long period of time, that means if we do not chew or we eat food very quickly, then production of HCl take place, and if this condition persists for a long period of time, the excessive hydrochloric acid will destroy the inner lining of the stomach. Okay students, so you need to be clear that you should not take any kind of food very quickly, or you should not take it without chewing it very properly. Okay students, so these are the things you have to keep in mind, and you have to take a proper amount of roughage in your diet so that you do not suffer from any kind of disorder like the constipation or stomach ulcer. So that's all for today. I hope it's clear to you. If not, you can ask me, and then I want you to reply with these two MCQs now. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day.